Okay, so good afternoon everyone. I'm your instructor for today. I'm Jim Ray Lumbican. And of course, uh, before we tackle to our main lesson for today, let's first review our previous lesson, which is the least invasive, uh, that is from the book Teach Like a Champion. So for today, we will be discussing about the one technique from the book Teach Like a Champion. So does anyone have a guess? Okay, so our lesson for today is technique number 23. It is called control the game. So, okay, what is it? So, control the game is a technique for managing student reading, read aloud, in independent throughout the flow of the lesson. So, this management of reading time makes reading aloud a much more meaningful in the use of time for students. So, this is a reading, okay, all together by the students. Next, why does it work? This technique works especially well because it creates what I like to call predictable unpredictability. The directions for read aloud are always the same, but students never know when they'll be called on to read. So every moment of the read aloud is active reading. So when do I use it? So here, so I use the control the game at least 4 times a week. Okay, 4 times a week. So nearly every time reading a shared text. So after the third or fourth time you do this, your students will begin to internalize the routine and will be able to execute it flawlessly. So pag in-execute natin to 4 times a week, so makakabisado na ng mga students after the third or fourth time na ginawa natin to. Nagiging kabisado na nila kung paano yung routine and may execute nila properly. So, here, make control the game work for you. So, here, let's wait. So, first one, know your text. Before you have students read aloud a text, read the text to yourself several times. So, kailangan mong ulit-ulitin basahin para makabisa mo yung text. Okay, so make sure you've marked selections to stop and ask questions. So, kailangan na nating mag-stop tas ask natin ng questions yung mga students. So, that you understand the central idea of a text and how it is developed. But also, pay attention to the wording. So, check natin yung mga wordings. Are there paragraphs where you'll want to step in read for a long section because the syntax is particularly difficult? Which phrases in the sentence are on the level of your lowest readers? So, dito kasi may mga yung mga magagaling magbasa, tapos meron yung mga slow ganun. Uh, Yun yung nasasabi dito ng lowest reader. So, which sections have a lot of dialogue? Sinong mas nakakadami yung binabasa? Ganun. You'll want to know these things before you start teaching a text so that you can control the game and maximize instructional time. Okay, understand? Okay, next. Next is know your readers. Okay, so if you teach middle school, it is likely that your class contains students who are just learned sight words and students who read on high school level. So, in middle school yon. So, knowing your students are in understanding where they are reading can help you ensure that read aloud is engaging for both groups. So, pag nakikita mo na nag-i-engage lahat, nag-work yung uh, nag-work yung read aloud na nagsasabay-sabay sila. So, pick short one-syllable words and phrases for your emergent readers to read. This will help build their skills and their confidence. Engage your higher level readers by giving them longer, more complex sections to read. Okay, understand? So, number 2 is know your readers, okay? Okay, so are there any questions, class? So, kapag wala, ako meron. So, first, ito. First question, what is control the game? I will pause it for 5 seconds for you to think the answers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so ito yung sagot. Control the game is a technique for managing students' reading throughout the flow of the lesson. This management of reading time makes reading aloud a much more meaningful in the use of time for students. So, pagkakasabay-sabay nilang magbasa. Okay, so number 2. Kailan natin to ginagamit or when do we use it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we use control the game at least 4 times a week. Nearly every time reading a shared text. So, ginagamit natin to at least 4 times a week. So, bakit natin to ginagamit? Why do we use it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, ito. I hope you get the answer. Okay, so after the third or fourth time you do this, your students will begin to internalize the routine and will be able to execute it flawlessly. So, ito yung sinabi ko kanina na pag inulit-ulit mo na ipinapagawa sa example, sa third or fourth time na nagagawin nila, makakabisado na nila. Okay, so parang mamamaster nila yung technique na yon. Okay, next, number 4. Oops. So, why do we... Hala. Sorry. Why do we need to know our readers? Okay, so bakit kailangan nating malaman ang ating mga mambabasa? So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so ito yung sagot. Knowing who your students are and understanding where they are reading can help you ensure that read aloud is engaging for both groups. So ito yung may mga magagaling, meron din yung mga slow. Pero pag nakita mong parang nagsasabay-sabay na, yon gumagana yung technique. So, number 5, why do we need to know our text? To, bakit kailangan nating alam kung ano yung ipinapabasa natin? So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, this is the answer. Before you have students read aloud the text, read the text to yourself several times. Make sure you've marked selections to stop and ask questions, that you understand the central idea of the text and how it is developed, but also pay attention to the wording. So, i-check natin yung wordings, okay? Kailangan natin kabisaduhin para alam natin. Tapos makikita natin kung kailan mag-stop or when to ask questions. Okay, that's it. I think it's the last. So, let's have a recap. Control the game is a technique for managing students. Okay, remember that? It is a read aloud in independent. So, sila yung gagawa. Throughout the flow of the lesson, this management of reading time makes reading aloud a much more meaningful in use of time for students. So, next, make control the game work for you by knowing your text and knowing your readers. Alam mo yung text mo, alam mo yung pinapabasa mo, at alam mo kung sino yung mga mambabasa. Okay? Oy, tapos na. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for having me. I hope you guys enjoy and understand our lesson. Thank you very much.